The shadow of Willow Creek. Willow Creek was a town of secrets, a place where time itself felt suspended, holding its breath in eternal twilight. Generations had lived and died here, bound by unspoken pacts and the ever-present shadows that lurked just beyond sight. Into this quiet town returned Evelyn, a young woman who had spent her childhood here. But tonight, the familiarity felt strained, as though the town itself was whispering her name in a language only the wind could carry.
Evelyn, I thought I'd left this place behind, but Willow Creek, it lingers in my memory like a dark cloud. There was always something off about it. As a child, I sensed it, but I couldn't understand. Now, after all these years, I've returned, drawn back by memories and something I can't quite name.
As she stepped off the train, the few townsfolk waiting nearby avoided her gaze, hurrying away as if they feared her presence. Even the air felt different, thicker, carrying a chill that wrapped around her like a shroud.
Evelyn, this house, it's been empty as long as I can remember. We were warned to stay away, that it was haunted, but those were just tales to frighten children, weren't they? Yet tonight, I can't shake the feeling that it's waiting for me.
Evelyn's feet carried her closer, almost against her will. The air grew colder, each step echoing louder than the last. And with each step, an inexplicable weight seemed to press down on her, as though the shadows themselves were watching.
Evelyn whispering to herself, voice trembling. It feels so empty. Yet, it's like something's here watching. Every corner, every shadow, it feels alive.
Dust hung thick in the air, catching faint beams of moonlight from cracked windows. Each creak of the floorboards felt deliberate, as if guiding her deeper inside. She could hear her heartbeat, loud and steady, merging with the ominous quiet.
Evelyn breathless, frightened. Who's there? It looks like. No, it can't be. This is impossible. I must be imagining it.
But as she stared at her reflection, the shadowed figure in the mirror did not mimic her movements. It stood still, eyes glinting with an unnatural light, as if it was aware of her, as if it was waiting.
Evelyn reading aloud, voice tense and uneasy. To whoever reads this, beware the shadow that haunts Willow Creek. It is not bound by walls or time. It feeds on those who stray too close, devouring their light and leaving only emptiness behind.
The words were scrawled hastily, each letter warped and frantic, as if the writer was in a race against an unseen terror. A shiver ran down Evelyn's spine, and a distant sound, like footsteps, echoed through the house.
James, a local person, urgent, voice shaky with fear. You shouldn't be here, Evelyn. The shadow's here. They're hungry. Once they find you, there's no escaping. My own brother vanished here one night without a trace.
Evelyn bewildered. Why didn't you tell me this sooner? What do they want from me?
James, it only seeks those who return willingly. It waits hidden until the moment you look too closely, and now it has found you.
Evelyn panicked, short of breath. It's coming closer. I can feel it right behind me. I need to get out. I need to.
The shadow followed with relentless purpose, gliding down the stairs without a sound. Evelyn's heartbeat thundered in her chest as she descended, the air thickening, slowing her every movement. The walls seemed to close in, trapping her in its grasp.
Evelyn whispering, voice breaking. It's over. There's nowhere left to run. It's here, in the dark, waiting for me.
The shadows seemed to pulse, breathing with the silence, inching closer with each moment. Evelyn's mind raced, grasping for hope, but the room seemed to shrink around her, the darkness pressing in, drowning her last spark of courage.
Evelyn resolute but fearful, voice steady. If you want me, then come. I won't hide anymore. I won't run.
And as she spoke those final words, the shadow enveloped her, cold and all-consuming, as if it were inhaling her very essence. And then, silence. Thank you for joining us in the shadowed halls of Willow Creek. Stories like these remind us that sometimes, the darkest mysteries are closer than we think. If you enjoyed tonight's tale and crave more eerie adventures, be sure to subscribe to Swift Story. We dive into the unknown, bringing myths, legends, and spine-chilling tales to life in every story. Turn on notifications, so you're the first to hear our next tale. Until then, stay curious, and stay cautious. The shadows may just be waiting,